Yes, it's visible.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, hi team. So today we are going to discuss about Git. So myself, Kamal Kiran, I'm working for in CSI and I'm giving this demo along with Sai Kumar, who is also working in CSI. So let's get started. So what we are discussing about today is what is Git and its performance, security, flexibility of Git, and some of the popular Git solutions and some Git bash commands as well. So what is Git? So in today's market, we have two different version control systems. One is centralized version control system and distributed version control system. So coming to the distributed version control system, so Git is the most widely used distributed version control system in the world. And Git was originally developed in 2005 by Linus Torvalds, who is also the famous creator of Linus OS. And the most widely used modern version control system in the world today is Git. And in addition to being distributed, Git has been designed with performance, security, and flexibility as well. So coming to the performance, so one of the Git performance strengths is its advanced algorithms. Git focuses only on the file content while determining its storage and version history of the tree. So coming to the security of the Git, so the main priority of Git is the integrity of managed source code. So in Git repositories or versions or directories, the content of the files or tags and commits, all these are secured because it uses a cryptographically secured SHA-1 hashing algorithm. So what is SHA? So it is a secure hash algorithm. So it is nothing but it is a hash function which takes an input and produces a 160-bit hash value known as a message digest. And flexibility of Git. So coming to the flexibility of Git, it is one of the advantages provided by Git. So track changes. Changes can be tracked as someone making a change, leaving a commit message about it or something like that. We can easily track changes in Git and backup and restore. It helps to maintain the source code backup. Collaboration. So using Git, the software team can be collaborated with each other easily, and branching and merging. So changes are made on a branch and after being approved and they can be merged with the master branch. You can see who changed the file and what parts the contents are changed in that. So we can easily manage our branches, what's happening in our branches. So deployment. So it deploys the source code on a server with only one command. We can deploy it, our code. So coming to the Git popular solutions. So GitHub, so it is a Git-based repository host originally launched in 2008 by Tom Preston Werner and Chris Handstrath and PJ Hyatt. It is the largest repository hosting platform and it nearly hosts 38 million projects. So it permits to host and review code, manage projects, and build software. And the second one is Bitbucket. So Bitbucket was launched in 2008 by an Australian startup and originally supported only the material projects. In 2010, Bitbucket was bought by Atlassian, and from 2011, it started to support Git hosting as well. So, which is now its main focus. So, it provides free, unlimited private repos, Jira, and Trello integration, and built-in continuous delivery. And coming to the other Git solutions, it's GitLab. So, GitLab started as a project by uh, Dmitry the projects and Valerie Sizau in 2011. So their aim was to provide an alternative to the available repository management solutions. So the company was, however, only incorporated in 2014. It provides continuous integration and delivery and agile development, auto DevOps, and etc. So coming to the Git bash commands. So the first command is git clone. So git clone is used to retrieve an entire repository from a hosted location by URL. So we can clone the remote repository in our local through git clone command. So coming to our second command, git config. So git config is used to, so whenever we push some code or commit some code, it will be committed with our name, username and email and password and something like that. So for that we use git config command and git add. It adds files which are ready to commit. And git status. Git status is nothing but it shows the status of the branch. So uh, how many files are there to be. It shows the tracked and untracked files in the branch, local branch. So git commit. So git commit is nothing but it commits your staged content as a new commit to our local branch. The next command is git log. So the git log command lists every commit that has ever happened in your project to see what has changed over time, along with some other information about how the commit was done and all. So git branch. So git branch is nothing but it lists the branch, the local branches that you have created, the git. And git checkout. Git checkout command is nothing but it is used to check out to some another new branch that you have created. Using git checkout -b new branch, it will create a new branch and it will automatically takes us to that branch. So if we use git checkout and branch name, it will take us to that branch. So git remote. So the git remote command lets you create, view and delete connections to other repositories. And git tags. So the git are tags are nothing but references that points to specific mm, points in git history. Like if you're working in with some version, like if you're working for a 2.0 version of a feature, you can add a tag 2.0 or something like that. So whenever you make a commit to that branch, it adds the tag version 2.0, something like that. So tagging is generally used to capture a point in history that is used for a marked version releases. So whenever we are trying, we are working for a feature and we are trying to release that, we use tags. So git fetch is nothing but it will fetch the content from the local branch, remote branch to the local branch. Next command is git pull. So the git pull command is used to fetch and download content from a remote repository and immediately updates the local repository to match that content. So basically the git pull command is a combination of two commands, git fetch and git merge. So it fetches the content from the repository, remote repository to our local repository, and it will merges into our local repository, local branch. Next is the git push command. So the git push command is used to upload local repository content to a remote repository. So pushing is how you transfer commits from your local repository to a remote repo. So it's the counterpart to git fetch, but whereas fetching imports commits to local branch, pushing exports those commits to the remote branch. So the next command is git diff. So git diff is used to show all the differences between any two commits or files within your Git repository. So whenever can be beneficial for identifying where there have been conflicts during branching or merging operations. So it will show which each commit or branch added lines, and it highlights any if there are any conflict lines also. For that we use git diff command. So the next command is git reset. So git reset, it's nothing but if you don't want any changes after you add it to your queue before committing them, you can reset them. So we can use git reset to untrack a file to no longer have any links to the Git repository. That we use git reset. And git merge. So git merge is a robust feature that allows you to combine work from two branches into one. So this is useful when developers work on the same code and want to integrate their changes before pushing them into a branch. So the next command is git rebase. So to update branches with recent commits made elsewhere. Like for example, if someone else has pushed up new updates while you have been coding, you can then you will need to run git rebase. It will does not disturb the commit history. So it will not create any commit at rebase. So the git merge and git rebase are same. They work. They are same, but um, the approach they use are different. So when we merge, there will be a commit for merge, but in rebase we don't. It will not create any commit as it will not create any commit in rebase. So the next command is git stash. So the git stash command is used to save your changes, but it will not record them in the git repository. So this can be useful when you're working on something and in middle of that work you got assigned a new bug, so you can stash these changes and work on that bug, and you can come back to this later and you can pause your work from where you have stopped before. For that we use git stash, and the final command is git cherry pick. So it will pick a particular commit change into another branch. So git cherry pick is a useful tool, but not always a best practice, I would say. So cherry picking can cause duplicate commits and many scenarios where cherry picking would work, but we prefer traditional measures. So with that said, git cherry pick is a handy tool for just a few scenarios. Yeah. So I will demo a few commands here. Yeah. Are you guys seeing my screen?
Yeah.
So this
Yes.
is the repo I created uh, in my Git. So this is the repository name. So first you need to download the Git bash tool from the Google. I can provide you the link in this comment after the session. So here when we right click the mouse, you can see here Git bash here. So it will take us to that a directory directly. So so first we need to clone the repo, the remote repo to our local. So for that we use git clone. And here when we click on this code, so here when we click on this code, we need to copy this HTTPS URL and need to paste it here. And what it does is like it will clone the remote repository or local. So here we can see it is done. So here we can see the remote repository. This is our local repository. Next, git. So here we can see this is my email and this is my username. So what it does is like whenever we commit something, it will commit with my username and email. So now we are in the SailSkipper class repo, and the default branch would be main, as you can see here. So in our repo, let us create few files here. So I created a file, test1, right? So the next command is git add. So let's do git status first. So when we do git status here, we can see the file is in red color. So because it is an untracked file, so when we make changes, we need to first add those changes. For that, we need to use git add dot. So what this command will do is like it adds the files. So if we do git status now, so here we can see this file is in the green color, so it is ready to commit. Yeah, so coming to the next command, let's commit those changes. For that, the command is git commit -m. In the double quotations, we can give a comment like first commit. So one insertion, so one file is inserted. So now to check the branch the branches history, we can use git log command. So here it will show us the commit that we made, the first commit. So we can use log with some graph in hyphen decorate. So what this does is like it just gives some styling to the log information. And that's it for the git log command. And the next command is git branch. So if you use git branch, it will show us on which branch we are standing on. So for now we are in main branch, right? So if we run git branch -a, so these are the two branch. This is the origin branch, the remote branch, and this is our local branch, local main branch. So if we are going to so what it does like it will create local branch. So we have another branch demo1. So if we want to at present we are in the main branch, and if we want to go into the demo branch, we need to use git checkout command, git checkout branch name. So it will take us to the demo1 branch. So if we use git checkout -b new branch name, it will create that new branch, and it will directly take us to that new branch. That's it for the checkout command as well. So git tags, the next command is git tags. So you can see, sorry, git tag. So there are no tags at present. So to create a git tag version 2.0. So now we can see a version 2.0. So whenever we do a commit, it will commit with this tag. So that's it for the tag as well. So git fetch command does nothing but it will just fetches the repo information to our local branch, remote branch to our local branch. That's for the git fetch. Coming to the git pull command. So let's so git push missing main. So what it does is like it will push our commits to the remote branch. So origin main means our remote branch. Main is our local branch. Excuse me. So here we can see. So the push is done. So if we go into our branch, here we can see the file. We push this file to our remote branch successfully. So that's it for the push command. So git pull command is nothing but it will fetches the data from the remote branch and it will merges it into our local branch. So it is already we are already up to date. So it didn't bring any changes from the remote branch. So that's it for the git pull command. So git diff command. So git diff command is nothing but we make any changes and if you use git diff, it will show us the changes. Here we can see in which line we have done changes and everything. It will show us here. That's it for the git diff command as well. So if we add it, so here we modified one file test1, right? So if we don't want this file to be committed, we can use git reset. So we can see there are no files that are in the staging. So it will just remove those files. That's it for the git reset command as well. So next git merge. So in the demo branch, if we do any changes, so if you want to merge this demo into the main, first we need to check out to main. So now we are in the main. So now we will merge the demo one branch to main. So for that, we need to use merge demo one. So what this will do is like, sorry. So this will merges the demo one branch into our main. So it is already up to date. Okay. We need to add those files and commit those files first. So one ingestion is done. So now we will go to the main branch. Now we will perform the git merge. So now what it does is like it will merge the demo one into the main branch. So one insertion is successful. So now the status git log. So this one, so here this commit brought from the main and merged in, brought from the demo one branch and merged into main. Yeah, that's it for the merge as well. So now let's see some, let's create some conflicts. So first we need to add the files, then we need to commit the files. So I will go to demo one branch, and in demo one branch also, in demo one branch we need to, we will edit in the same file and same line. Same here, git add and git commit. Conflicts demo one. Okay, so when we merge, now let's check out domain. So now we are in main, and if we merge this demo one branch into main, we will get conflicts as we have changed. We have done changes in the same file and in the same lines. So if we perform merge, so here we can see merge conflict in test1 file. So for this, to resolve the conflicts, we need to do this manually. So we need to go to that file, and here we can see this is the head and this is the demo one. So this is from the main branch and this is from the demo one branch. So you can remove whatever change you don't need, that you don't need. And so for me, I need these both changes. So I'll just remove this. I'll save this. I'll perform a commit.
Continue merge command. Merge continue.
Okay, here we can see. So begin at first we didn't add the file, so that's why we got these exceptions. So here we can see there is all commits. So we resolve those commits, and if you see the git log, so for conflicts, this is from the demo one, and this is from the main. So we have meshed those. We have kept those two commits here. So that's it for the conflicts. This is how we resolve conflicts. So coming to the next one, git stash of that. So now if we see and git status, there are two files. So we are working on these two files, and we got some other things to work. So we can just stash these files. So for that, git stash save stash save and the comment like first. So git stash list. So for this git stash list, it will show us the list here. So this is our first stash. So in stash, there are three types of stashes, like stash apply, stash drop, and stash pop. So what stash apply is like, we need to uh, stash apply and this stash. So here we can see the files. So we brought those files out of the stash, but if we go to the stash list, we can still see that file. So if you don't want to see that file, we need to use stash drop command. Stash drop stash reference. And now we don't see any stash list. So we have another command in stash, it's like pop. So for that, if we again do stash save, so here we have the stash, second stash, right? So if we perform stash pop, so what stash pop do is like, it will bring those stashed files out and it will automatically drops those stash. So here we can see, so this stash pop, what it does is like, it's a combination of apply and drop. So that's it for that stash. And finally, I'll show you the cherry pick. So cherry pick is nothing but if we want to take something from from, a particular commit from a branch, we can do that. So let's see git log. So this is the log for main. Now we'll check out to demo one branch. So in demo one branch, so present now I'm in demo one branch and I want this commit in the main. So for that I will use cherry pick. So git cherry pick and the commit reference. So I'll take this. Okay, I think I have two uncommented files here. Okay, we are running out of time. So what cherry pick does is like it will fix a particular commit from the main branch and it will merges into the demo branch. And that's it for the git command. Any questions? So if not, Sai will continue from here.
If
Sai?
not, we can arrange one more session, Kamal. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah.
We can continue.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kamal. Let me share my screen. So hi team,
Hi,
we are
Sai.
going
Hi.
Hello.
we are going to cover a brief introduction to Git and how to use Git with Visual Studio Code and how to use Git with Visual Studio using it with GitHub Desktop. So let's have a look into what is Git. It is the world's most popular version control system. So it is the version control system for tracking our changes. So what is version control system? Version control system is a software that tracks and manages changes to files over the time. So we have in our project we do have multiple files and we do make changes for those files. So we need to track and manage all those changes. Version control systems generally allow users to revisit earlier versions of the files and compare changes between versions, undo changes, and we can see a whole lot more in our session. So Git is just one of the version control systems. So we have several version control systems like Subversion, CVS, and Mercurial. So they all have these similar goals, but vary significantly in how they achieve these goals. So it is the most popular one because of its features and its security we have seen. previously. And so it's very challenging for us to without Git. So we can't manage all those changes and keep tracking of those changes. It's very clumsy for us to tracking the changes. So getting to the point, what exactly does Git do for us? So Git helps us in tracking changes across multiple files. As I said, we have multiple files and we do multiple changes for those files. We need to track for those for all of those files, all of those changes, and it helps us compare versions of a project. We do have multiple versions for our project and version releases. So and time travel back to old versions. We can time travel to old versions. We can get those old versions of our project and we can start working on from the old versions and revert to a previous versions. Collaborate and share changes. We can work on a single project collaboratively and share our changes to our coworkers and our colleagues, and we can combine changes, um, team changes. We can combine all of our team members changes. So let's look into the using it with Visual Studio Code. So here we can see initializing a Git repo and adding and committing changes and branching and merging, pushing and pulling changes, resolving merge conflicts. So let me let's go to the Visual Studio Code. And so here I opened a folder called Git and I have a file index.html. So in order to use the Git, we need to go to source control here. This is the uh, where we track the changes. So first of all, we need to initialize a repository. Here we go. So I just initialized a repository called Git, and here we have a file. Here we can see a letter called U, means it means untracked changes. So uh, we have files which are not known by the Git, and in order to add this to our repository, we need to stage changes. Let me click on this plus symbol. This is how we stage our changes in VS Code. So here we can see the letter A. It is added, which means we added the file to staging. Staging is nothing but a buffer between the our current working directory and our repository, Git repository. So it's nothing but a temporary storage for us to, which is ready to commit. This file is ready to commit. Let me add a message. We need to add a message to commit, which describes about these changes. Let me make it as initial change. And here we just need to click on this tick symbol, or else we can click on here, commit. And we need to publish our branch to remote repository. Uh, Initially, it created with a master branch. By default, it's created whenever we initialize a repository, the branch will be as master, and we need to publish this branch to remote repository. Remote repository is nothing but a cloud storage for us for our code. So whenever I create a remote repository for my branch, other coworkers or uh, can take my changes and work on those changes if they want to. Let me publish branch. So we need to publish to our GitHub. So it's asking me to publish GitHub to as a public repository or private repository. If I uh, make it as a private, no one can see these all these changes. Let me make it as a public repository. Here we can see publishing to GitHub. Successfully published to the GitHub. This is my GitHub account. And let me make some changes. So here we can see this is called gutter panel, which indicates the changes. So here we can see shaded blue line, which indicates the new changes for this line. So if I add any new line, it will be indicated with the green line. So if I delete any existing line, it will be indicated with the red arrow mark. Let me put that line back. So let me save this. So here we can see our changes. Uh, we we created a new change. So we can compare our files, previous and current changed versions. So here we can see this is previously how the line looks like, and newly added line. And here we can see by side. So if I uncheck this inline view, we can see it as in, yeah, here we can see this side by side. This is the previous file and this is the new file. And now we need to commit this by adding a message. So here we can see three options here. Just commit and push. Commit and push means it will automatically push to our remote branch which we created earlier. And commit and sync means it will commit and pull the changes from the remote origin if there are any changes present on the remote branch, and then it will do the push operation. Let me commit and push now. So okay, we need to stage first, stage changes, and then commit and push. Yeah, so let me create a new branch. Let's see how to create a new branch. So in order to get the source control, Control Shift P, we need to, this is the shortcut for source control. And let me create a branch. So here we can see create a branch. So we need to give the branch name, mm, feature branch. So here we can see it reflected here. We created a feature branch. Now we are in feature branch. Let me publish this to remote. Yeah. So same as this is new branch. Let me stage this. It's on the same line. Anyway, so now we need to sync the changes, which means push commits to origin feature branch. Yeah, now we are committed to feature branch. So if we go back to the master branch. Yeah, here we don't have the um, feature branch changes. In order to get those changes, we need to perform a merge commit. So in order to merge the feature branch into main branch, we need to go to branch, merge branch. We need to select the branch here, feature branch, and here we can see the feature branch changes as well. We need to publish this to remote origin branch. So we have few more options here. Pulling the changes from the remote origin, uh, which means like we can, if we have any changes present on the remote branch, we can pull those changes to local and push to remote branch. If we have any local changes committed in and which are not present on the remote branch, we can push those changes. Clone cloning a repository. If you want to clone a new repository from our GitHub or from the Azure, we can clone a repository. And checkout means checkout to switch to another branch. Fetching is same as the pull in order to get the latest changes from the remote branch. And here we can see committing the staged changes, committing all, undo last commit. If you want to undo last commit, we can go with this option. And commit staged amend means which if you want to change the commits, like if you want to change the commit message or any committed changes, we can go with this one. Same with this one as well. So commit staged signed off. If you want to add any other authors as well, for this one I am the author. If I want to add any authors for this one, then I'll go with this one, commit staged signed off. Who are the authors for, if we have multiple authors for a project, we can go with this one. And this is the same as the same with this one. And coming to changes, if we have any present changes, we can stage all those changes and unstage all changes, discard all changes. So uh, let me create a change here. So here we have changes present in this file. So if you want to open a file, this is for opening the file. And discard changes, stage changes. So discarding means it will discard the changes. And coming to pull and push, here we have seen the pull and push operations. Pull rebase means, so it's just same as the merging, but it's rewrite the history of our branch. I'll explain it a little bit later in this section. And pull from, if you want to pull from any other branches, we can select this option. And same as the previous, here we can see the options here, same as these options. And coming to branch, we can merge a branch, and we can rebase branch, create branch, and create a branch from uh, we need to select a particular branch, like parent branch. We need to select a parent branch for our child branch, create a branch from rename branch, delete branch, publish branch to remote repository. And if you don't have any remote branches for the particular local branches, we can add remote branches, remove remote branches. And stashing means stashing the changes which are not ready yet to commit the changes. So let me show you that. So let me stash. We need to add a stash message. So if you want to get those stash changes to back to our changes, we can apply latest stash. So here we can see our stash changes are here, and apply stash. We need to give that message which stash we want to apply, and pop latest stash. So which means it will get the stashed changes, and we have seen previously which Kamal explained. And coming to tags are it represents a particular moment in time. Like if you have any new versions, we can represent them with a tags, and create we can create a tag and delete tag, delete remote tags. So I'll explain the tags as well a little later. So this is how we use Git from Visual Studio Code. And let me show you the rebasing first. So coming to rebasing, there are two main ways to use the git rebase command. One as alternative to merging. It is same as the merging, but it just rewrite our branch history. And as a cleanup tool, as I said, it rewrite our branch history. And so if I have a master branch, and it is a collaborative project, like other team members also work on the same project. So I have created a new feature branch from the master branch, and I started working on the this feature branch. And there are new changes on the master branch, which other worker, like which other team members have on the master branch. Then I need to get those changes, then I'll make a merge commit. So it just do another commit for my feature branch. It will add those changes to my feature branch. Here we can see another commit, merged master into feature branch. And same as this also create a merge commit. And if you see the rebasing, so the branch history looks like this. So it starts tip of the end of the master branch. So we can use the rebasing instead of merging. And let me show you that. So we are running out of time, so let me start for using it with GitHub Desktop. So in order to use the with GitHub Desktop, this is the section for repos. We can clone a repository, we can create a new repository, or we can add existing repository for this GitHub. And here we can track the repositories. So here we can manage our branches. We can create a new branch based on the your new branch will be based on your current checkout branch, master branch. Here we can create new branches, and we can also create pull requests for GitHub Desktop. And fetch origin means if you have any changes present on the origin branch, remote branch, we can fetch those changes. And coming to branch, here we can perform all the operations on our branch, stash all our changes. So I have a changes present on my branch, so let me stash all changes. So we have stash, so we have stashed changes here. If you want to restore these stashed changes, we want to just go with this restore button. Or if you want to discard these changes, we'll just go to the discard changes. So I just restored the changes. So we can compare two branches, like if you have any other branches, if you want to compare those branches, it's just like a git diff. And if you want to perform a merge commit, merge into current branch, in order to merge, I need to select a branch from which branch I need to merge. As of now, I don't have any other branches, so this is how we perform merge commit. And squash and merge into current branch. So squashing means just modifying your changes and merging those into current branch. Rebase current branch, as I said, rebasing means it's just rewrite our history. If I go here, here we can see the changes. So it's just rewrite our history, branch history, rebasing means. And that's it for the GitHub desktop as well. So let's quickly see how to use Git with Visual Studio. So in the bottom right corner, we can see the Git section. Here we can see our changes and incoming and outgoing commits. We can fetch, pull and push changes. Sync means pulling and pushing the changes from the origin branch. And here we can uh, have manage our repositories. These are repositories from my GitHub account. So here we can create a Git repository, open local repository, clone repository. We can do all those things. So let me open Git changes. So here we can see if we I have changes present on my current branch, master branch. So if I want to commit, I need to enter a message. So if you have multiple changes, we can click on commit all. We just committed to our local branch. Here we can see commit info created locally. And so if we want to push those to remote branch, if we want to push the changes to remote branch, getting push. Yeah, successfully pushed to origin master. In this way, here also we can track all our changes. And that's it for the Git using with Visual Studio. Uh, any questions?
Hi, team. Now you can unmute yourself and ask him if you are having any questions regarding this topic. Hello, Venki.
Yeah,
There
Sandhya.
is your beautiful face. Of yes.
Uh, Actually, Kamal and Sai Kumar conducted a session in our internal team, so we are good with this session.
Okay, great then. So what about Pramod, Sandhya, Sai Shri, Apsha? Hello. Hello.
Hi, Sandhya.
Yeah,
This is
who's
Sandhya again.
yeah. Hi, Sandhya. Yes, please.
No questions from my side, and thank you, Sai Kiran and Sai Kumar. Kamal Kiran, sorry, Kamal Kiran and Sai Kumar.
Yeah, thank you.
Confused. That's
Thank
fine.
you.
Happens. So please turn on your camera so that we can see your faces, right? Kamal and Sai. Now you can appreciate them. Great. They are open for it. Please. Raji, hello.
Yes, Sandhya.
Yeah, please.
No questions from my
No
side. I'm
questions.
good. Yeah.
Okay, then great. So then, can we wind up this session for today?
Yeah, if no questions,
Yeah.
yeah, we can.